Hello, and welcome to Michigan and Other Mayhem, the show about Michigan, murder, mysteries, histories, and other mayhem from around the world. Your hosts are Allie
and Jen.
Okay, Jen, let's do this thing.
Hey, Jen, guess what?
What, Allie?
Happy Halloween.
Oh, my second favorite day of the year. Actually, It's like a toss-up between that and Christmas.
I know. Honestly, I love them both and for different reasons. You know what I mean? And also, cue fake podcast music. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Dun, dun.
All right. I've got one that's not that bad. There's nobody dies. I mean, imaginary people die, but not real people.
Imaginary.
Yes.
Well, I'm intrigued.
What do you have?
I'm going to talk about a YouTube channel that I've grown to be addicted to. So something completely different for you.
Okay, good. Well, mine actually has to do with horror movies.
Really?
So, yeah.
Do
you want to go first or second? I don't care.
Oh, it's up to you. You can go first if you want.
All right, I'll go first. We have I got my stuff from Wikipedia and Screen Rant and IMDb. And like 80, when I say Wikipedia, I mean like 15 different pages. Okay. So I want to talk about the Evil Dead movies. I'm someone that likes scary movies, and I grew up watching them on TV. I like to be scared, not grossed out, so I'm not really into that horror porn shit. I want you to like screw with my mind, not make me feel disgusted. Okay. And I remember specifically seeing Evil Dead 2, which is one of the Evil Dead movies, at my dad's house when we were passing out candy on Halloween with my sisters when I was a teenager. And because it was on like USA or something like that, if I remember correctly, the USA channel, they didn't show like all the scariest scenes. And so I had no idea how scary that movie was until I rented it by myself. And I was like, Lord, save me from this movie. I'm so scared. I had no idea it was that scary. But I'm going to tell you about them now. So Bruce Campbell, he's the main actor of the Evil Dead movies. He was born in Royal Oak, Michigan, and he graduated from Western Michigan University. And he was childhood friends. They met in like junior high-ish with Sam Raimi. And he was also born in Royal Oak, and he graduated from Michigan State University. They were both actors. They are currently actors, directors, producers, and writers. And at the time, they wanted to work together to create this horror movie named Evil Dead. So Sam and Bruce and some other people got together, and they made this short film about a cabin in the woods, and it's to raise the money for the project. And Evil Dead is also about a cabin in the woods, just to let you know. And they made actually about $90,000. And they're like, okay, go to make the movie. The movie Evil Dead came out in 1981. And it's about 5 Michigan State University students who go on vacation to this rural cabin in Tennessee. And Bruce Campbell, he plays the main character, Ash. And while at the cabin, the students, they inadvertently, on accident, resurrect a demon entity.
Okay.
You know, things happen, calamity ensues, and there's a lot of like jump scares. There's demon possession, and there's just like buckets of blood. And in the end, Ash, who's the lone survivor, they call it the place where he works S-Mart. I guess instead of Kmart, it's S-Mart. Mm-hmm. And he goes from being an S-Mart employee to a demon slayer. Well, Evil Dead ends up actually doing really well with the audiences, especially after it was given like a rave review by horror author Stephen King. And Stephen King saw it at the 1982 Cannes Film Festival. And once he was like, this is awesome, the movie just picked up speed. And they actually picked it up for an international release, but then gave it an X rating. So a lot of theaters weren't able to run it for viewing because of the X. And a majority of the censors issues were with the demonic possession in the movie. They have claymation gore. I must say there's a tree rape scene. And a tree rape somebody. And there's naked breasts because that's what is in every 1980s horror movies are boobies. Right. And it's repeatedly referred to as the nastiest movie of the year. But it still ends up grossing $2.4 million in the U.S. and $29.4 worldwide. So they put $3 million. They put 90,000 in. They come back out with 29 million. The second movie, Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn, that's the one I was watching. It came out in 1987. And it's the same premise with the MSU students spending time in a remote cabin, accidentally summoning demons. And it has a scene in which a demon possesses Ash's hand. And his hand attacks him, and he has to cut his own hand off. And the hand then attacks him again. And now it's just like a free-form hand attacking him. And he's able to use his like lack of hand to attach a chainsaw to his wrist. And now it's like a demon fighting weapon. And this movie has a budget of $3 million. And I remember the first one was 90,000. Now they have 3 million. And it becomes a cult classic. Currently, it is number 19 on Entertainment Weekly's list of top 50 cult films. And it's known for being campy and gory and filled with blood and outrageous. And it even received a good review from Roger Ebert when he was alive. So Roger Ebert from, the movie Cricket really likes it. So the third movie in the franchise is called Army of Darkness. And it's more campy. It's like an action movie than it is a horror movie. And it begins with Bruce Campbell's character Ash. He gets sucked into a wormhole and he is deposited in medieval times. And he plays the anti-hero like to perfection because he's really a jerk. And he has a few great one-liners. And at one point he has this evil twin. And someone's like, "Are you the good guy or the bad guy?" And to which he responds, and I quote, "Good, bad, I'm the guy with the gun." And at another point, he's showing these medieval warriors his gun. And he said, "This is my boomstick. It's a 12-gauge double-barreled Remington S-Mart's top of the line. You can find this in the sporting good department. That's right. This sweet baby was made in Grand Rapids, Michigan. It retails for about $109.95. And I was like, oh my God, that's someone that spends a lot of time at work. You know what I mean? So in the end, the original Evil Dead movie did so well that they did, the other two movies. There were comic books that were written. Video games were created. A TV show that was like 3 or 4 seasons was created. A reboot movie that has its own sequel comes out. And the main character from the original movie, Ash, played by Bruce Campbell, is often like the common thread in all the movies because a lot of things change, but Bruce Campbell's always Ash. Ash is always a character. And after the first 3 seasons, after the first 3 Evil Dead movies came out, Bruce Campbell went on to star in other movies, the TV show Burn Notice, and he's done like a lot of voice works for characters in video games. And he's known for having like a really prominent chin. And the first book that Bruce wrote about his life was called Taking One on the Chin, Confessions of a B-Movie Actor. And I borrowed that from the library and I read it. And it talks about growing up in Michigan and spending time with the Raimi brothers. And his second book is called Hailed to the Chin. And my husband and I, your brother, we have signed copies. It's really
that's cool.
Yeah, it's really funny to read when he talks about different movie aspects and what his life is like now. And your brother and I have signed copies because of the second book. We attended something that's called Last Fan Standing. And it was me, Mike, and Melina. We bought tickets to this Ann Arbor theater. And Bruce Campbell's there. And he reads different questions about horror movies. And everybody in the audience, we all have a clicker in our hand. And as the questions are asked, we would press the answer like A, B, C, D. And the top 3 people that had the most correct answers would then go on stage and play a trivia game like you see on game shows. Mm-hmm. It was so much fun. Like everybody in the room got a chance to be a contestant,
cool.
Oh, yeah. So, and at the end, everybody received a copy of his book. So Last Man Standing was made into a TV show. And it shows the game show portion of the night. And Mike and I found that on this free app called Tubi. It's a free TV app. And we watched it again and tried to answer the questions all over. Yeah.
And so you guys weren't the top answer?
We weren't, no. I know, bummer, right? I felt bummed out too.
I'm shocked, actually.
Right? I was bummed. So I want to tell you just some different facts about the movies and the actors. So did you ever see the original Nightmare on Elm Street movie?
Yeah.
Okay, so in that movie, Nancy, the main character, at one point it shows her falling asleep on her bed while she's watching TV. And what's playing on the TV is the first Evil Dead movie. And it's when she falls asleep in her bedroom. Yeah. So in a nod back to Nightmare on Elm Street, for the second movie, Evil Dead 2, Freddy Krueger's clawed glove can be seen hanging both in the tool shed and in the basement, because a prop man that worked on Nightmare on Elm Street also worked on Evil Dead 2. So it's Freddy's actual glove that you see in the Evil Dead 2 movie. I thought that was cool as hell. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
cool.
Sam Raimi, the one that, helped make the movies in the first place, he went on to produce the movie Darkman, starring Liam Neeson, The Grudge 1 and The Grudge 2, and 30 Days of Night, and the Poltergeist remake movie. And he actually directed movies like The Quick and the Dead, The Gift, and the 3 Spider-Man movies that starred Tobey Maguire, the first 3. Oh, let's see.
Okay.
All 3 of the Evil Dead movies mention the Necronomicon Ex Mortis, which is the Book of the Dead. It's the one that has the ability to summon demons, how all the movies go wrong. And the Necronomicon was thought up by H.P. Lovecraft. And it was first mentioned in a story called The House. So they just used something he'd already talked about. And The Evil Dead was the first fully produced movie to use the shaky cam technique. And there's scenes that show an evil spirit or a demon racing through the woods. And those were shot with 2 guys holding a piece of wood with a camera mounted on it and then them running through the woods. That's how low budget it was. So remember how Ash had to sever his possessed hand and then his hand attacks him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, at one point he traps the hand in a bucket under this bucket and he piles books on top of it. And the topmost book that you can see is Farewell to Arms. Get it? By Ernest Hemingway.
That's great.
Yeah. They say, okay, so in Evil Dead 2, there's a possessed mom that gets locked in the cellar. And the mom is actually played by Ted Raimi, Sam's brother, because they couldn't get anybody else to get into the suit. It was, I guess, really hot in there. So Ted also acted in movies like Candyman, Elf, Baywatch, Darkman, and he was on Xena Warrior Princess, and so was Bruce Campbell. He was in Xena Warrior Princess.
Wow.
Yeah. So for my last one is Sam and Ted Raimi and Bruce Campbell. They all act in another movie together called Intruder, which I've actually watched recently. I really liked it. And in it, it's produced by Sam in 1989, right? And in it, there's this classic 80s slasher set in the grocery store in Walnut Lake, Michigan. That's the set of the movie. It was the directorial debut of Scott Spiegel, because he worked at Walnut Lake Market when he was a teenager, and then it closed down before being bought again. And Walnut Lake Market is located in the West Bloomfield Hills area. I've actually been to that market.
Really?
Yeah, it's actually called the Market Square now, but I was there back in the 80s and 90s. Yeah.
Wow.
I know, right? I was there, and they shot a movie there. And the movie's actually not that bad. I mean, it's not exactly a shocker, but it's not that bad. I've watched a lot of bad horror movies, and this is not one of them. So tell me, Jen, what is your YouTube channel obsession?
So, I've been probably watching this for, I would say, a year now.
Okay.
And it's called Adventures with a Purpose.
Okay.
And it's with a gentleman. He's a scuba diver. And he goes around cleaning up rivers and lakes of trash and items such as bottles, cell phones. And he even pulls cars out of these lakes.
Wow. Okay.
So I'm going to tell everybody now, it's really not that super exciting in his, startup videos.
Okay.
Other than I used to fast forward to see what in the world did he find.
Okay.
And they would even make an effort to dry out the cell phones that they found.
Uh-huh.
And they would search the owners out to return the phone.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Like this guy, went the extra mile.
Holy shit. Okay. So he's a good guy. So he finds your phone in the lake and doesn't do finders keepers on you. Okay.
Right. So then as they grew in popularity, they were called on by viewers of the YouTube channel to dive certain lakes and rivers looking for missing people.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah, currently they are making their way across the U.S. in an RV
Okay.
to different missing person cases. And they make stops to, you know, do dives and clean up, like they pull some cars out and whatnot.
Wow.
Some of the missing cases, they already released those videos, so they're on their feed.
Okay.
They did a video on missing person, Nathan Ash. I think it's Ashby.
Okay.
Ashby, age 22 from Missouri.
Uh-huh.
Nathan went missing July 2019. He left his home early in the morning for work and never was seen again.
Oh, shit.
And I believe that they did find him.
Really? In the lake? How'd he get there?
Mm-hmm. You don't know.
Okay. All right.
Like when you watch these videos, most of the time it seems like, okay, a family member went missing. You go missing. Last time you were seen, or you would have been like going to work, so you'd have been driving past Huron River. I'm going to assume maybe you're in the lake.
Yeah.
And people want that lake search.
Of course, now I'm drawing a blank. I'll have to look it up in a hot second. But there is a song that this band wrote about this couple that one day drove off in their RV, and this retired couple, and nobody ever saw them again. And the song is talking like basically they're probably off riding free. But then years after the song is released, they find the RV and they basically had driven off the road on accident in the mountains and died.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's what this reminds me of.
Yeah. They did a video on Marty Evans from Oregon, went missing February 2020. She left her best friend's wedding and wasn't seen again. Wow. And again, the road she was driving on, there was lakes and rivers she could have driven off.
Oh, yeah.
Abigail Bellows, 22, from Oregon. She was last seen swimming and disappeared into the water.
Okay.
Like, people were there, seen her swimming, turned around, then she was gone.
Oh, shit.
He did a case on a missing...
Wait, he did find her? I'm sorry.
He didn't find her.
He did not find her. Okay.
No.
Wow.
The missing Martin family, December 1958, Portland. They left their home to go get Christmas stuff.
Okay.
Like, I want to say, it said he talks about it as Christmas greens.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if that means a Christmas tree, but anyways, they left their home and then they were never seen again.
Uh-huh.
They did one on Ethan Kazmarak, age 22, in Iowa.
Okay.
Left the party and was never seen again.
Jesus.
The most recent one they did was Natalie Jones from Georgia.
Okay.
This is on the RV trip they're doing right now. And she was found. But what's interesting is this was like a three-part video, and they do lives too when they're out. So
they do
go
live, you said? Okay.
Yep,
okay.
They go live.
Okay.
And so they're there, trying to follow her path, where she could be. So they're diving in rivers and whatnot looking. Okay. And they actually got a call on one of the days they were out diving. Somebody was driving down the road and noticed her car.
Oh.
And she drove a very distinctive car. It was pink.
That's it. Oh my gosh. Actually, when you should say that, your brother and I saw a lime green car in front of us. And he was like, how many cars? He's like, would you drive a car that was that color? I was like, I don't give a shit. Yeah. I would drive a car any color. I don't give a shit. Like, every panel could be a different color and it wouldn't bother me.
I'm going to say this.
Uh-huh.
I learned one thing I've had multiple different colored cars, is that you never see that car in that color until you own it.
Oh, for fucking sure.
It's like, I can't tell you how many times it's like, oh, like when I had my silver Dodge, never seen a silver Dodge like that until I owned it. Yeah. And then it's like, oh, Silver dot. Oh, there's a silver dot. Look, looking. But so they thought maybe somebody had, it was a really small town in Georgia, so maybe somebody, thought better, had that car. They knew they were in town. They dumped it. That's how it was there.
Oh.
Because the mom and family said they've driven that road multiple times and it wasn't there.
Oh, wow.
And come to find out, in part 3, you find out that the landowner had been paying somebody to clean the brush. So really just clean up all the trees and whatnot and cut things down. And they stumbled upon the car. So all this time,
Oh, shit.
it was actually there. It just was covered.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. So real interesting how their channel has, developed. Like, here you are diving. And come to find out, he talks about it in some of his earlier episodes. Like, they just don't have it. Police stations don't have the resources. It's expensive. I could know you're in that river.
Right.
But they ain't going to get you.
Right.
You need to go. I would have to go get you.
Yeah, like that young girl where they know that's where she died, but they just can't go get her.
Yeah. So they have ways to support their, adventures and, in cases that they go out. But of course, just by watching their YouTube channel, hitting the thumbs up button and whatnot, driving more traffic there, you need to check it out.
Oh, wow.
Like, and support, watch a couple episodes.
I'll support the shit out of it.
Sometimes it gets long, like their lives. I watch it, or, I don't really watch it. I turn it on and I'm doing the dishes. I look over every once in a while.
Yeah.
But definitely we're going to have to put that on our Facebook page so people can check it out.
Definitely.
I just think it's absolutely wonderful that this is just a hobby. This wasn't his job.
What does he do that he can afford this if it's expensive? Does he ever say?
No, I have no idea. I've never seen a video where he actually says, what he did. I assume now this is what he does full time.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because he puts out enough videos and he's traveling. Or maybe he's just, I don't know. He works.
Well, maybe his YouTube channel is big enough that he can go do it. Plus, if you add that to, if people have started paying him, if they said, like, will you come out here, we'll pay you.
Right. And it was really like when they were in this last one, the Natalie Jones.
Uh-huh.
Just, I think, the way the world is,
uh-huh.
You don't believe that there's nice people out there.
Right.
And so it was really amazing to see that. Like, he didn't have when he turned his phone around to use the other side camera, I don't know, one of the sides of the camera, you couldn't really hear him because of the microphone, and a viewer sent him to a Verizon store and just bought him a new iPhone.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, people know, people that watch him know that he's in town. They're in town helping a family, and they bring them dinner. And I mean, it is really nice to see how, the community
has come through.
Yeah, like pulls together to, help them in this cause, because I think it's, important, especially now that I learned, like, you could go into the river and ain't nobody going to get you. I got to go find somebody and pay them to pull you out. Like, I just think that's crazy.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you. Because
you're in there. Yeah. You're going to just let the car and my sister-in-law live in the Huron River forever.
Okay, yeah. Like, that's the thing. Like, it messed me up when I found out that, like, say someone commits suicide in your house, you have to clean it up. Nobody comes and cleans it up for you. You have to find a way to get that cleaned up. And you have to, if you're unaware, you have to get rid of things that have biomatter on it differently than just throwing it in the garbage.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that just
Isn't
blows
that crazy?
my mind.
I never knew that. When I found that out, I was like, you're fucking kidding me. Like, nobody takes care of that?
Well, yeah, and so this hit me. And I guess I didn't think about it in, when you would talk about when he just would pull out a car.
Right.
I get it. Your car is in the lake. There's not a human in it.
Right.
So we're not going to go get it. You just leave the car there. And you can figure it out. They're not going to. But it blows my mind that it's like, if it's the person's in it, I think we should go get the car. I mean,
right? I'm with you. Although,
but I don't know. Go ahead.
We did do one. I did do one maybe last year where two people met up for a date and they were found in the water in their car when they were pulled out. When they were pulled out, they weren't able to tell who was driving because nobody had a seatbelt on and they were just free floating in the vehicle.
Oh,
I know, horrifying, isn't it?
Yeah. Well,
believe it or not, falling off a bridge in my car is one of my absolute nightmares.
That's why I can't go across the Mackinac Bridge. It's just even the thought,
right?
Just people blow off that bridge.
Well, it did happen once, and one time someone drove on purpose. And the reason why I know this is I've been writing an article on haunted bridges, and I'm pretty sure that one's haunted.
Yeah, so, okay, you're just going to make it so I'm definitely never going over the bridge.
If you ever make it to the other side, you're going to be on a boat or you're going to drive around Wisconsin. Yeah.
Yeah, because I have this thing about bridges, and probably because it's only due to the fact that I'm a tad bit,
sorry,
if I have to admit it, a little scared of heights.
Okay.
So,
okay.
And there was a bridge, and I had to drive to Madison Heights when I was younger to work. And there's a bridge there. And I'm going to tell you what, there was a bridge I had to cross, and it didn't have somebody did something wrong. The rails were not high enough. I would always drive in the middle, the left lane, because there's no way. I'm not getting in the slow lane to be over here with no guardrail that comes up to my calf.
Right.
I'm in a vehicle, it needs to be 5 foot high.
Shit, dude.
I'm going to blow over.
Okay, one time when my roommate and I had driven from Michigan to New Orleans, I can't remember where we were, but at one point we drove over the Mississippi, and I remember thinking that the water was so close to the bottom of the bridge. You know what I mean? I felt like we were only, 2 feet above the fucking water. Well, then Katrina came by, and that bridge was absolutely fucking destroyed. And I was like, I fucking knew it. When we went over that, I felt this shit is unsafe. And look it is unsafe. I was like, oh my God, right? Terrifying. Yeah.
So you have to check it out. We'll put it on our Facebook, and everybody needs to go and give these people a thumbs up on a video, because we need to support people
that do good works. I'm about that. All right, yeah, I'll throw it up on our Facebook page.
All right, that's what I got for you.
All right, well, happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
All right, talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Contact us at Anchor or Michigan and Other Mayhem at gmail.com or on Facebook to join the conversation, listen to the podcast, or correct us when necessary. Rate and subscribe to our podcast on your favorite podcast provider. Bye-bye now.